So who wants more strength? We all do. We might not all want more muscle, but we certainly all want more strength. We want more endurance. We want more vitality. We want more resilience. And we're going to get that by strengthening our spleen organ system. So the spleen relates to the spleen, the pancreas, the stomach, the entire digestive system, all anabolic processes in the body. And anabolic means to build up rather than to tear down, which is catabolic. So all growth relates to the spleen. And the muscular system also relates to the spleen. Fundamentally, the two most important things that the spleen does are turn food into energy and turn food into growth. The other important facet of the spleen is the pancreas, and that's what regulates blood sugar. So blood sugar is our everyday, in the moment energy, as opposed to our long-term reserve energy, which we'll talk about in the kidney section. So our everyday reserve energy in Taoism is called qi. In Western science, it will be referred to as ATP, and it's adenosine triphosphate, which is where matter becomes energy, where physical things that you put into your body becomes the calories, becomes the very units of energy which govern and control and direct everything that you do. So the spleen energy relates to earth energy. And earth energy, when we talk about someone who's salt of the earth, when we talk about someone who's down to earth, when we talk about someone who's got both feet on the ground, that's someone who has good, strong, healthy, balanced spleen energy. Someone who's present in the moment, very aware of their physical senses, very aware of the world around them. That's someone who has good, strong spleen energy. So one of the main benefits of taking the strength formula and building up this spleen organ system and harmonizing that energy is that you're going to have good, strong, healthy digestion with a good, strong, healthy appetite. There's a common saying which is, you are what you eat. This is very true, but only in a limited sense, because it's more true to say you are what you can assimilate and absorb. So what I mean by this is that if you're eating a lot of food, even if it's high quality food, if your spleen energy is low and you can't absorb it, then you're always going to be dissatisfied. You're going to feel hungry, you're going to feel like you haven't eaten enough. And this is where people will have a tendency to overeat, because they feel like no matter how much they eat, it's never enough. They're never satiated. As a result of this lack of satiation, a person will then have their digestive system more and more backed up with undigested or partly digested food, which brings on a whole host of other health problems, including bloating, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, any kind of stomach upset. All these things are related to not being able to assimilate and absorb our food properly. Another aspect of not being able to assimilate and absorb our food properly is that we find it impossible to put on weight, particularly to put on muscle. Because muscle, as we all know, is built from protein and built from water, and protein and water are metabolized by the spleen organ system. Muscles are 70% water and 22% protein. So everyone knows if you want to put on weight, if you want to put on muscle, you need to eat more protein. Well, really, you need to absorb more protein, as well as you need to be able to properly absorb and assimilate the water that you drink. And this comes from having a strong, healthy, balanced spleen function. This is why, from a Taoist tonic herbal perspective, you want to have good, strong spleen organ system energy, and then you will easily put on muscle, provided, first of all, that you're not overly stressed, that you're not overly drained or exhausted. And for that, you want to look at also having the rejuvenate formula, if that might be a reason why you're having problems putting on muscle, provided that you're also doing regular, hard, exerting resistance training, which really push your muscles to the maximum. With the combination of a rejuvenated kidney organ system with a strong, balanced spleen organ system that's going to efficiently absorb and assimilate your foods, and the requisite amount of exerting resistance training, you are guaranteed to put on all the muscle that you want to. So the spleen organ system, as well as the kidney organ system, so that's the strength and the rejuvenate formulas, both really help to boost the immune system so that you are able to fight off any foreign invaders like bacteria, viruses, funguses, molds, parasites far more efficiently and effectively. Some of the signs that you have in imbalance with this spleen organ system are when you have a dry mouth, when you have a white coating on your tongue, when you have excessive sweating, when you have food intolerances, which is where there's certain foods that you can't eat, where you have fungal infections, which is known as a damp spleen condition, where you have excessive appetite, which is known as a hot spleen condition, or you have a lack of appetite, which is known as a cool spleen condition. These are all examples of where you need to really rebalance that spleen energy. And ladies, if you're worried about putting on too much muscle as a result of having the spleen formula, please don't be. A woman is never going to put on anywhere near as much musculature as a man because she simply hasn't got the hormones to do it. So don't worry. You're only going to put on an appropriate amount of musculature based on the results that you're actually seeking.